these power hours have been created to kind of pick up where that work left off. And I'm here with some beautiful ladies. Y'all can introduce yourselves. So today we're going to be talking about music and song and how we can use that music to heal not only ourselves but those around us, people that we may be in quarantine with, our friends, family, and a little bit about uh, these gifts that we've been given from the people that came before us. And just to talk a little bit about the Indigenous 20 something project. We're all part of the Indigenous 20 something project, and it is a movement that's created to address the toxic impacts of generational trauma through healing and wellness, and really asking those questions of how do we go about generational healing? How can we activate that within ourselves and our own personal healing journeys, but also with others and those in our generation, and really bring in those teachings from older generations and pass them on to those younger generations too. Um, so really grateful to be here today, and thanks to the Noise Foundation for uh, putting up the funding for these power hours to be possible. We're going to go ahead and give a little bit of time for people to kind of join in and join on. So in the interim, we'll give it about 2 minutes here. But I'll pass the time over if y'all want to, say anything, any warm welcoming words to our friends and families.
Kalina Lawrence Seedsta, Sokwab Chud. My name is Kalina Lawrence. I am Suquamish. I come from Suquamish. We are ancestrally and still from the place of clear salt water. And I am just very grateful to be invited by Native Wellness Institute to participate today. Very excited to see you guys, even though it's on the screen. It's like it's very refreshing. I know we're getting our FaceTime in and using our means the best that we can, but today is just very special in that, we've been in solitude with our music and with our passion for singing, and now we're finding ways to still share. Um, that's really really awesome that we have these opportunities. So yeah, I'm just also honored to be a part of I-20SP and all of us young Indigenous folks across the globe that are using this opportunity to carry out the teachings of our ancestors, to have those difficult conversations about what the normal was that got us to this place and what our minds could do to create that new normal that we want to go back out into. So yeah, I think music and the arts in general are getting all of us through this quarantine and through this pandemic and through everything else that that's challenging us every day. So much gratitude, for the ability to share these songs with you and with everybody that's tuning in.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kahara. I'm here in Arizona from the comfort of our home with my little baby in my belly. And I just want to say thank you to Native Wellness Institute for putting together this moment for us to offer songs for healing, especially during this time with my other powerful sisters. It really is an honor, and it's been something that's been on my mind and on my heart to offer some prayers in that beautiful way. And I'm just really, really grateful that we have this sort of format of connecting with one another, and from the safety of our homes. And it's a blessing to be able to spend this time, offering songs, speaking our language, being reminded of this beautiful life that we get to live, and also being reminded the power of prayer and togetherness. So I'm really grateful to be here. Really grateful for my sisters. Really grateful for everyone that's watching. Um, I feel really, really blessed, and I'm extending that to everybody that's participating in this right now. So, yeah.
Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself, and we'll start our session. Hi to everybody that's come on to this hour. I'm actually on my lunch break right now. I'm taking a late lunch, and so I can't think of a better way to spend it than with these beautiful people and with all you guys at home. But de onde malolale. My name's Jordan Cocker. I'm Kiowa on my mother's side and Dongan on my dad's side. Our family are Toibos and Powelties, and we're from the Rainy Mountain Redstone region of the Comanche Apache Reservation in Oklahoma. I'm calling from Oklahoma today. I'm quarantining here. So, and on my dad's side, we are from Tonga, from the islands and fishing villages of Ha'apai and Tongatapu. And our family are Cotters and Hansons, and I'm a descendant of Vilifakatahatupofa. And I always introduce myself like that. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to people at university or, wherever, just so that, I'm bringing my genealogies with me wherever I go and showing that respect and humility to my family members. But I'm really grateful to be here and share my lunch break with everybody and really just kind of think about music. I know since I've been in quarantine, I've been singing a lot. My partner and I came out to the country away from the city just to have that social distancing and, what's going on in our nations as well as the US, the nation. There's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of healing, physical healing that's needed and spiritual healing. And so music has been a huge catalyst to changing that energy within myself on days that I have, anxiety or unsure feelings, worrying about my family who are far away or overseas. And I just wanted to share this first song that I'm going to share is a song that I learned from my mother, and she was raised by Charles and Alice Toivo. And this is a song that they sang at Rainy Mountain every week. And as a little girl, I remember, some mornings waking up just hearing her sing this song and taking a little kettle, like a cast iron kind of pan, and burning cedar and saying a prayer for everybody in the household and all of our relatives. And so it's a song of prayer in the Kiowa language, but it also has a lot of meaning to me. And I've been singing it for a long time, and I need that peace. This is one of those songs that I reach for. So it goes. Bacon tadokay an haigadome on neon tome an haigadome. Bacon tadokay da on neon tome an haigado. On high gado, on high gado me. Bacon tando gay, on high gado me. On the on town me, on high gado me. Bacon tando gay da, on the on town me. On high gado, Anhaigado, anhaigado me. Baekyon tado kyai. Anhaigado me. Oneon taone. Anhaigado me. So I wanted to share that song because, like I said, it has a lot of meaning to me, and to um, and peace that it brings. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those words are prayerful words about, caring for ourselves, caring for others, and um, I just wanted to share that to start us off. And um, I'm gonna pass the time over to Kalina. She's gonna bring us our next beautiful gift of song.
Tegui, thank you so much for that. I was like, whoo, the tears are coming, they're coming. um, yeah, I am coming to you live from the ancestral village of Yalamu, which is the traditional territory of the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples, in which I am a guest. I have lived here for the past 6 years, and constantly back and forth between Suquamish, Soquabsh, and here. So growing up in Suquamish and coming from Coast Salish cultures, there's so much to learn from our teachings in these times. And one thing that's really, been impacting me is that, although I am an introvert, extroverted introvert when I need to be, and I love my solitude, I also realize how much gathering has been an integral part of our culture and our life, and not being able to gather in the ways that we usually do has definitely been something that I've had to reflect on and heal through the process right now. Um, so many of our songs, are dedicated to certain times of the week, times of the year, social times and celebration and of all forms. So I'm thinking a lot about the canoe journey and hearing whether or not that's going to be postponed, which I think it will be. But this idea of potlatching and gathering that is going to be impacted as well as we make these sacrifices to stop this pandemic in its tracks. So I wanted to share a potlatch song, and that comes from my family home in Suquamish, and the song carrier is my cousin Sammy Mabe. And just carrying that song with me, a lot of our songs are sang in group settings. There's not very many songs that are solo, but a lot of times I find myself singing them alone just because I don't have, my family and people with me everywhere I go, but I do have them everywhere I go. You know what I mean. So this is a potlatch song, comes from Suquamish, and it's incorporating our ancestral language, so Quab shoot seed, or Tol shoot seed, as most people know Salish people as. So just wanted to bring into the space all of our ancestors and each one of us who aren't able to gather at this point, but knowing that we will be able to soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
So traditionally, we use drums. Some families use rattles, others don't, and I don't have either of those with me right now. So I might keep pace just with my hands, which is also something that we've been taught by our elders if we needed to keep rhythm. So just so you guys know a little bit about that. Here we go. Oh, hey, oh, Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, as halichat dishat. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, as halichat dishat. Oh, hey. Oh, hey.
Thank you.
Oh. That's it.
Oh my gosh, Nijane. Um, well, yat tanisani nishlin to bilagana bashichin na kaidashiche to nahili dashinala. Para Hodges nishe. Lokanitiel de nasha kad hosto beshagan. My name is Kahara Hodges, and I am Dene, Navajo, Mexican, African American, and English. And my family is originally from Ganado, Arizona. And like I mentioned earlier, we're here in our home here in Tempe, Arizona. And I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in and giving some time to accept the good energy that we're sending out there. And this first song that I'm going to sing is actually called First Song. And it's by Jay Begay. And so my family and we started learning our traditional Navajo language, culture, and songs about I want to say maybe 13 to 15 years ago, through the Phoenix Indian Center. And it's really beautiful. They offer cultural programs, and my mom was very adamant about our family learning about where we came from. And, being here, born and raised here in the city, we wanted to find that connection and understanding of, who we are and where we come from. And so we joined this little community at the Phoenix Indian Center, and our teacher, Jolanda Begay, who is an auntie friend, sister friend, mentor now, she she taught us a lot of these songs that we know and share, and it's really a blessing to be a song keeper and to carry this knowledge. And since since learning these songs, I've really grasped a huge part of my identity as a Dene woman. And it really, I'm really grateful for that. So this is a blessing song, like I said, by J.B. Gay. I'll start it now. Hey, nay, oh, yeah. Hey, nay, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, you way, na, hey, you. Shitadin, na, shako, shit, honelo, do, you way, na, hey, you. Ta Christian hajoba initsin yuwe na heyo hey ne yuwe hey ne yuwe oh ya oh ya oh yuwe hey ne yuwe hey ne yuwe oh ya oh ya oh yuwe na heyo Shitadien ne dago ne hielhone lodo yuwea na heyo ta Christian hajoba initsin yuwea na heyo hey ne yuwea hey ne yuwea oh ya oh ya oh yuwea hey nay away, hey nay away, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, you way na hey you. Shitadin ne dago ne hiel hone lodo you way na hey you. Christian hajoba initsin yuwe na heyo hey nay hey nay oh yeah oh yeah oh yeah hey nay hey nay oh yeah oh yeah oh yeah yuwe na heyo Ta Christian hajoba initsin yuwe na heyo. Yeah.
Wow.
Love you guys.
Love
So
you.
beautiful. We're like speechless. We're like
I know. After each song.
Oh yeah, what are we doing again? Oh, okay.
no, I really am so happy that we're able to kind of take this time and share like this of ourselves because you know, just like was said, Kahara, you mentioned that the relationships that you're able to build with women in your community through sharing song and language, and that passage of knowledge is so it's such a gift, um, and I'm really just happy that we have the opportunity to share some of those music ways. Um, with ourselves and then you know with our communities and yeah, thinking about relationships, I think for me relationships are probably one of the strongest parts of music, and I don't really like sing in front of other people unless it's usually with my sisters or family, or you know we're in a situation where of ceremony, um, and then even sometimes then just to myself. But those relationships, I think they're so powerful because inside those songs are all these memories and all of these connections that um, you know you can't even really talk about so well as just being able to share that through song. Oh, I think Kalina, I'm just seeing a message. I think Kalina is gonna log herself back on. She's having some sound issues. But just to kind of continue that, I've been really mindful of mothers and and babies. I have two sisters that are Oh, hi, Calina.
Hi.
Yeah, she's back. She's back, y'all. I have two sisters that are with child right now, and we've been sending each other links and helpful things to processing through what does it mean to be pregnant during COVID, and one thing that we keep talking about is songs and what kind of songs we want to share with each other, and even with the babies while they're still growing. And I'm just going to share a song that my nana, Lewen Ikoka, Raymond Cocker, so my dad's mom, she used to sing to me when I was little. It's a lullaby and in the Tongan language. Um, and it means a lot. And it's one that was sung to me, and we sing to my niece Evelyn, my nephew Tobias, and a rider hopefully will hear, and also to the babies that are coming, and so I'm just gonna share this lullaby because I'm thinking about those babies um and the gift that they are. So this lullaby is called Analatu. Sioiawe analatu anatawele kia te au si e no whanonga he one one ene anatapu pa e tahape. Dio Yahweh, Analatu, Anatawele, Kia te au, si e no whanonga, he one one, ene anatapu, pa e tahape. Si o Yahweh, Analatu, Anatawele, Kia te au, si e no whanonga, he one one, he ne anatapu, wa e tahape. That's it.
Beautiful. My little baby just woke up.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
singing. He's all moving around. I could feel him.
Wow.
Your sister.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for that. I was FaceTiming with Sib. Shouts out to Sierra out there. I know she tuned in. What's up, girl? We FaceTimed for an hour and a half yesterday. I didn't even
yes.
realize time just went by. But so much love to Sib and Kahara and all of the women out there that are about to birth an incredible generation of just human beings first and foremost, and then the ones that we need, the ones that we're ready for. And I am just like constantly thinking of like who do we make music for? We have the music that we carry, that has come from those who have lived before us, and then we also are creating music for those that are coming, and for those who are here now, but they're coming into consciousness. And for me, being a contemporary artist as well as a culture keeper, a song keeper, and wanting to always be intentional about that. And when I first started my professional music career, it's been about 3 years now, which is crazy to think about. Time is flying. But
Yeah.
the second song that I ever released was called Generations. And it came to life because, so many of us rely on social media to share our stories, to be able to control the narrative of what we're going through and what we're doing about what we're going through. And because of consistent blackout by mainstream media. We're relying so much on social media campaigns and just our platforms that we have to get the word out about so many different injustices. And my friend Joey Montoya, he is one of those with Urban Native Era who has, found a successful way to use social media for these reasons. And he created this hashtag campaign, I think with also along with Megan Redshirt Shaw, called Think of the Generations. And um, this is there's so much that goes into this, thinking of past generations, thinking of future generations, thinking of our current generation, when we make decisions, and how it will impact everybody, whatever decision that we make. And so I started with that, and I was, trying to fit my 120 characters into Twitter, like think of the generations, and then carrying on the thought, and then I decided to write a song about it. So this is the first rap I ever wrote, ever. And then I thought, well, our youth have a lot to say right now. They have a lot to say all the time, but there's a lot of ways that Western colonial society has convinced us to deem youth naive, to say that they don't have enough life experience to know what they're talking about, which is something I've always disagreed with. I think youth get it. I think they really get it, and um, I think that we fail them when we don't offer the tools to be able to understand them and to convey and to learn from them and to shape the world that they want with the resources that we have. So, all of that being said, I didn't really want to write a song about young people without having a young person on the song. And I'm young, but there's different levels to youth in our communities. And so I was 23 at the time, and Dea was only 13. And I thought, well, being 13 is way different than being 23. So I asked her to write, I sang the hook to her. Think of the generations who will inherit this nation. Include them in our choices. It's our job to lift their voices. I said, here's the hook. What do you want to say? What do you want to write? And she sat with the instrumental. She sat in on the process of creating the instrumental in the studio, and she wrote. I didn't censor her. I didn't prompt her. I just said, these are the words of the chorus and what comes to your mind when we say these things. And so at the time, it was really at the heightened time of our solidarity with the youth of Standing Rock and the Miniwachoni movement and the stopping of the Dakota Access Pipeline. And so there was so much going on, and we were feeling so much, and if we couldn't be there on the ground, then what could we do? And we decided to write a song. So I'm just gonna kick it a cappella for y'all. And the first verse is mine, and the second verse is Dea's. Dea is an incredible young woman born and raised in the Mission District, and this community of people here in San Francisco have really raised her to lead us. And and I think that with her words and her verse, we can see that. We can see when you're teaching someone how to think versus what to think. And that's a way that, we are responsible for the generations to come and for our generation. So I wrote this verse to Monica's So Gone instrumental, which was like a hashtag challenge going around on Instagram. And I was listening through, and I was like, what? People aren't really talking about anything. I mean, it's no shade. people talk about what they want to write about, but I just felt like there's so much going on in the world, and especially from our Native perspective, that isn't really being broadcasted at the time. This was 2016. So my verse goes like, I gotta pay respect to the movement that is hip hop, the people that create to express how that beat drop. The words of the silence telling stories for a cause. I'm thankful for the artists who stood up to spit how it was. I'm native and I'm peaceful, but I'm tripping like the voyage. Tired of the greed, deceit, destroying earth like we can make it without water or air. She ain't ours, we are hers, and we cannot compare. Our job is to preserve, though we don't deserve to remain. We can't contain our ego, don't live equal, need to reframe. Rich folks make systems of fear and hypocrisy while we slip through the margins of this so-called democracy. I said I'm native and I'm peaceful, standing rock hard like Dakota. North, south, bring east and west, we're gonna show up. Check your privilege and your comfort, your history and reflect. Don't confuse protect with protest, and instead use a platform for a cause and listen when the earth says, without me, those lungs of yours are so gone. Without earth, these lungs of ours are so gone. Think of the generations who will inherit this nation. Include them in our choices. It's our job to lift their voices. Then Dea said, these generations feel the same except the lingo and the style. The struggles have built up, it's on the kids to change meanwhile. Brothers in the streets, sisters crying in the sheets. Mama's on the phone saying, what happened, baby? Look at this road we have created. We got needles on our streets. Little kids scared to speak, hurt so bad it's hard to breathe. Tell me there's not a better way. Give me proof that there's not more to say. Show me all the work you've done. You don't know how far I've come. Should have told me at age 6 that my life was gonna change. People got me pegged for rude, but I'm just trying not to cave. Daddy left when I was 6. System held both of us. Mama played both parts. It broke both of our hearts. Flipped upside down. I've been kicked to the ground. Tried to build myself back up to understand I will still fall. Not ashamed of all my past. It has made me who I am. Carry my team on my back and educate on this track. Our destiny is not to manifest anger and pain. Use the voice that you have to help create a better path. Mass incarceration to mass deportations, police brutality stem from racist mentality. Can't you see the pattern? No dapple, no black snakes, no pipeline, no racist hate, no costumes, and no chains. Use any outlet that you love, stand up and make a change, not for the money and the fame, for the generations we create. So we think of the generations who will inherit this nation. Include them in our choices. It's our job to lift their voices. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh my God.
So that's Generations. Just a little plug. All of my music is available on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. We have an incredible music video for Generations on YouTube. You could check it out. But yeah, it's been a really beautiful journey to find a fusion, between our indigenous musics and contemporary genres of music, and also creating our own genres of music, and just being everywhere in every field of music and doing it for the babies that are on the way. Yes.
That was beautiful.
Well, since, like just going off of generations and recognizing those little babies, this next song that I wanted to offer is actually it's a grandparent song. Right now it's really important, the whole purpose of us, staying home is to make sure that we can protect those that are most vulnerable, and to protect our elders. And it's been really, I've been saying prayers every day, for Navajo Nation, because unfortunately, we're our people are being devastated by this sickness that's going on. And so I just wanted to offer this grandparents song for them and for those who came before us. And I'm gonna use my rattle. Yeah. Sotizinda hojonin ligo kone petunya najini. Kone petunya najini heyuna heyne yoe. Sotizinda hojonin ligo kone petunya najini. Kone petunya najini heyuna heyne yoe. Haleya kono hotade Nehmastani done heche jinitene Hasewan sente Hojogona shadones Hojogone dadones Hojogone tetole jinitene Ishi benimane hetutuke Ane hanadiyendole, ane hanadiyendole, hey na hene yoe. Todo zinda hojone nenigo kone beten yanga jiniye, kone beten yanga jiniye, hey na hene yoe. Sotuzinda hojone nanigo kone pequeña ajaniye kone pequeña ajaniye una heyoe haleya kono hotade Nehmasani done heche jinitene Hasewan seyete Hojogona shadole Hojogone dadole Hojogone dedole jitene Ishi benimane husotuzin Ane hana diendole Ane hana diendole Hena hene yoe Sotuzinda hojone nenigo kone pequeña ajaniye Kone pequeña ajaniye una heyoe Sotuzinda hojone nenigo kone pequeña ajaniye Kone pequeña ajaniye una heyoe Haleya kono hotade Nehmasane done heche jinitene Hasewan sente Hojogona shadole Hojogone dadole Hojogone tetole jinitene Ishi benimane hesotezen Ane hana diendole, ane hana diendole, hey na hey yoe.
That was so beautiful.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, I'm thinking of our elders, thinking of my grandmothers, my aunties, my uncles, my grandfathers, all of my mentors, and thinking about, sending that special prayer to Navajo Nation and offering healing to my people and to all of our people. So,
Thank you.
Beautiful.
We're kind of coming to the last 10 minutes of our live. And so we're gonna go back through once each. I just listening to these beautiful songs today has really been so awesome. I'm like, can we do this every day? Like, I'm gonna be playing this video.
You guys tomorrow.
Yes.
But yeah, I just love the opportunity to share music and also to hear. I love like both of you all's voices and the beautiful like mana and
Mm.
um, feeling that I get when I listen to your music. And um, so I also wanted to just kind of add some last words. I know that many of our relatives are going through a hard time with anxiety and stress, and there's so many great resources. These power hours are amazing resource, and they happen every day at noon Pacific Standard Time. So if you liked what you heard here, definitely log back on every day. But I had a poem that I wanted to share that I wrote last year when I went to Kahara clan and camped. We had a bit of a hardship on the last day of our ceremonial, and one of my little relatives lost a male family member. Um, he he ended up ending his life through suicide, and I wrote this reflection on that day because I was going there with the purpose to pray, and that day I remember praying for those people who are going through hard times mentally or spiritually, emotionally, and physically, who are struggling to kind of keep that center place, to keep that peace in their heart, and I prayed that Daki Creator will be with them. And so I wrote this reflection at the end of that day, and I think about it a lot. I've been thinking about it since probably early March with everything that's going on, and so I just wanted to share that. Um, it's titled "We Pull." The blue and red blanket of dusk hangs around my head, eyes filled with salt water, sweat gathered from my heart, dancing, drumming, shaking, running, racing within my chest. A prayer is answered as day breaks into night, supper break, beneath a brand new moon. I awaken within the dream world, sweat gathered from the labor, entering, traveling, voyaging, journeying to the ancestral place, laboring through the weight of 100 years, crushing down, hips cracking open like eggshells, unfertilized. Auntie Lucy teaches me as my flesh tears, as the tears flow, to pull braided sweetgrass from between my legs, an endless umbilical braid of sweetgrass, each woven curve breaking cycles as night breaks into day. As I begin to lose consciousness, her voice steadies. Thainga, keep pulling. I just wanted to share that poem and those words with you all, and I pray and I hope that as you take in these messages and other good messages, that you surround yourself, with information and resources that are uplifting to you, and song and poetry, music, art, all of that, good medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Um, the umbilical of sweetgrass. That was like so visual to me. Thank you so much for that. I think just being here with both of you and all of the languages that we represent and that we come from and that we are lifelong students of. And then the fact that, our ancestors and us have mastered adaptation, that we can convey our messages in English, that we can think in English and see the world in English, also through the lens of our languages. I think that is just so inspiring to me, to see the ways that both of you utilize, your brilliance, and the art forms, and your voices, your minds, and your hearts, and your bodies. I think a lot about uh, how things would be if we had the access to our ancestral foods and the languages those foods belong to, and this very long history of the U.S. government, purposely detaching us from those things, that we're still here and we're still doing it, and there are very many culture keepers and herbalists and medicine carriers in our respective communities that are at the forefronts right now. And this is the opportunity, right, to tap in. There's a lot of ways that Indigenous folks across the country are using this time to learn the languages, and it's so dope to me. So I wanted to end with the song that I wrote in my language. I like writing in English. I love challenging myself to incorporate something that so many of my ancestors sacrificed so that I could still speak today in Sokhab Shutsid. So this is a song that I co-wrote with a dear friend of mine, Joey Holmes. He is Athabascan and Grand Ron, and he married into Suquamish about 10 years ago. So he's Suquamish. No, I'm just kidding. um, but one of our language keepers, and I produced this beat on my phone. So if you have an iPhone, you can go to your app store and download Figure. This is the name of it, Figure, and you can make beats on your phone. Just for those who are tuning in that might want to give it a shot, you got lots of time, I think, maybe. But I created this beat on my phone. My first time producing one of my own songs, and we wrote in our languages the phrases that we really think should be put out into the world in this way. I've not translated it into English. I don't plan to, for a few reasons, but what I do actually need your help with is the call and response. This is during the chorus, where I'm saying us khaid chalab, which I will translate. I'm asking, how are you folks? And the response is us wallah chal, which is we are strong. So if you ladies could help me by saying us wallah chal.
Aswalach cha.
Yep, us wallah chal.
Aswalach.
Yeah, y'all got it. So I'm gonna say us chill up, and you say us will
Aswalach
yeah.
cha. Okay.
Yeah. So
I may have
we'll
listened to
try.
it 1,000 times.
Ah! Okay, then you got it. You got it down. And shouts out to Tomas and Sierra Canyon Productions for the music video, to all of my folks in Suquamish, my family, my loved ones, from my Lawrence side of my family, my Alexis side of my family, and all in between. Our whole community really showed up for this video, and it was so much fun. And it's just really like finding ways to tap into our strength and believing that we are strong even when it feels like we might not feel strong. But yeah, this is my dream come true as a musician, to use music and preserve, restore, and learn language. This is why I even, I guess, chase this calling. So we are gonna go with the beat, and it's a nice little, it has a little. I wanted to shout out like West African influence on so many of our fusion music in the Americas, um, and just grateful to all of the contributions of Black folks in our times right now, especially music. But so we're gonna go. Are you guys ready? Oh yeah, and shout out to all my family that's watching. I know my sister Tashi is watching from Virginia, which is so cool. Everybody, wherever you are in the world, we're sending you love and strength in these times. Okay. Us Swallow, us hate to love, us will love, us hate to love, us will love, us will love, you will love, us hate to love, will love, us hate to love, us will love, us hate to love. Aswallah, aswallah, you wallah, oh, yaftikwo, yaftiswa to time. Don't just Pud head of oak, ach test asub, puds asub, pug ole. Pud head of oak, ach test asub, puds asub, pug ole. Toshuti rasali, toshuti rasali, asali, toshuti rasali. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Hate to love. Us will love, us hate to love, us will love, us hate to love, us will love, us will love, you will love, us hate to love, us will love, us hate to love, us will love, us hate to love. Aswallah, aswallah, you wallah, kwapwalik, abalik, globa, globe, slachil, stidoop, suck, to al shadoop, suck, hat, tislachil, us hali, chad, hat, tislachil, baptizia, hat, tislachil, I see, still, bucha, Guadzada, twirl, shoot, seed, us, hali, tea, twirl, shoot, seed, us, hali, us, hate your love,
Us with love.
us, hate your love, us, with love, us, hate your love, us, with love, us, with love, you, with love, us, hate your love,
Us
yeah, us, hate your love. Us will love, us will love, you will love,
Yay!
Shout out to Lashutsi language.
Yo, you guys did that. Thank you very much for helping me. It's usually a whole crowd full of people yelling "Lashutsi" at me, and it's so cool. And you guys did just great. Thank you.
No, thank you for the opportunity. I love that song, and there's huge language revitalization efforts going on here in Oklahoma, and I keep sending that out to people. Like, look at this language speaker. Look what she's doing with the language. I think it's so beautiful. So thank you for inviting us to participate in that with you. I love all of the efforts that are happening, and I heard it said recently, and I think it kind of resonated with me. That everything comes back, time's like a circle. Our language sometimes feels like it's at different brinks, but the more we try for it, the more we chase after it, we begin to our jaws become unstitched to that. And so I'm so grateful for your the opportunity to sing with you, Kalina. Thank you.
Yay.
And we just have a tiny, oh gosh, we're like actually 1 minute over. But before we end, do you want to kind of tie us off, Kahara, and add any good words?
I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and, offering the good medicine. It's really been an awesome power hour with NWI and my sisters here. Yes, thank you so much to everybody. I was saying pass the ketchup, Robert. I saw your comment. No, just kidding. And sorry I couldn't sing Proud Mary, also, Robert. He's so crazy. Yeah, I see. I got a lot of friends and family that tuned in, and I just want to say thank you for your time. And we just got to keep this going and continue the good medicine and good prayers. So, yeah, love
Yeah.
you all.
Love
Sending
you
out
so
some good
much.
love.
Mwah. Oh yeah, we're not
Love
supposed to touch our
ladies.
faces, but
I know.
Love you from a distance.
wash our hands.
Yeah, wash your hands. All
We
right,
gotta
we'll see
do
you
this
guys.
again. Jolene, please.
Yes.
Let's do this again.
Thank you, Jolene. Thank you, Auntie.
Thank you so
And
much. Thank you,
Shailene. Really
Shailene.
appreciate you putting this together.
Yeah, love you guys.
Bye, fam.
Bye.